I restore abandoned paintings for a living. Last month, I found a portrait in an estate sale. Behind the canvas, hidden for 60 years, was a photograph of a missing girl in a confession written in blood. My name's Alex. I'm 32 years old. I buy old paintings from estate sales, thrift stores, abandoned houses, the ones nobody wants anymore. Then I clean them up, fix the damage, restore them to what they used to look like. Sometimes I sell them, sometimes I keep them. Mostly, I just like giving forgotten art a second chance. It's quiet work, peaceful. Just me, a canvas, and hours of careful cleaning. Most paintings don't have stories. They're just old landscapes or portraits of people nobody remembers. But sometimes, you find something that changes everything. 3 months ago, I went to an estate sale in a small town about an hour from where I lived. Old Victorian house. The owner had died. No family. Everything was being sold off. I walked through the house looking for paintings, found a few landscapes, nothing special. Then I went up to the attic. That's where I found it. A portrait, covered in dust and cobwebs, shoved in the corner behind old furniture. It was a painting of a young woman, maybe 20 years old. Dark hair, sad eyes. The paint was cracked and faded, but you could still see her face clearly. Something about it felt off. Not the painting itself, but the way it had been hidden, like someone wanted to forget it existed. I bought it for $20. I brought the painting back to my studio and started working on it. First step is always cleaning the surface, removing dirt, dust, old varnish. As I cleaned, the woman's face became clearer. She looked young, scared almost. The painting was dated, bottom right corner, 1962. I looked at the back of the canvas. Sometimes artists write notes there, names, dates, locations. This one had a name written in pencil, very faint. Margaret. Nothing else, just that one name. I kept working, started repairing cracks in the paint, filling in missing pieces. That's when I noticed something weird. The canvas felt thicker than it should, like there was something behind it. I carefully removed the canvas from the frame, and there it was, tucked between the canvas and the backing board. A photograph. Black and white, faded, but clear enough to see. It was the same woman from the painting, same face, same dark hair. But in the photo, she wasn't posing. She looked terrified. She was tied to a chair, crying. Someone had taken this photo. Someone had painted her, and then someone had hidden both. My hands started shaking. I looked closer at the photo. There was writing on the back. I flipped it over. Margaret Hayes, age 19, taken October 1962. She wouldn't stop screaming. I dropped the photo. I didn't know what to do. Call the police? And tell them what? That I found an old photo behind a painting? It had been 60 years. Whoever took that photo was probably dead by now. But I couldn't just ignore it. I started researching, looked up Margaret Hayes, missing 1962. Found her almost immediately. Margaret Hayes, 19 years old, disappeared from her hometown in October 1962, last seen leaving work at a diner. She was never found. The case went cold. No body, no suspects, no evidence, just a girl who vanished. And now, I had a photo of her, tied up, terrified. I kept digging, found old newspaper articles about the case. Her family had spent years searching for her, put up flyers, offered rewards. Nothing. Her mother died in 1985, never knowing what happened to her daughter. I looked up the address where I'd bought the painting, the Victorian house. It had belonged to a man named Edward Crane. He'd lived there alone for over 50 years, died at 93. No wife, no kids, no visitors. I had to go back to that house. The estate sale was over. The house was empty, waiting to be sold. I called the real estate agent, said I was interested in buying it, asked if I could look around. She met me there the next day. I walked through the house again, looking for anything that might tell me more. The basement door was locked during the estate sale. I asked if I could see it. The agent unlocked it, said the basement was just storage, nothing interesting. She was wrong. I went downstairs. It was dark, dusty, smelled like mold. There was old furniture down there, boxes, junk, and in the corner, a small room, door slightly open. I pushed it open. It was a studio, an art studio. Easel, paints, brushes, all covered in decades of dust. And on the walls, paintings, dozens of them, all of women, all young, all with the same terrified expression. Different faces, different hair, but the same fear in their eyes. I felt sick. I called the police immediately, told them everything, the painting, the photo, the basement studio. They came out the next day, brought a forensic team. They searched the house, the basement, the property. Found remains buried in the backyard. 4 bodies. Margaret Hayes was one of them. Edward Crane was a serial killer. He'd kidnapped women, kept them in that basement, painted them before he killed them. The paintings were his trophies, his way of keeping them forever. After he killed them, he hid their portraits, couldn't display them without raising suspicion, but couldn't destroy them either. So he kept them, hidden away, just for him. Margaret's family was contacted, what was left of them, a niece. She'd never met Margaret, but she'd heard stories. Now she finally had answers.
The case made national news. Serial killer's secret art studio discovered after 60 years. Police identified 2 of the other victims, still working on the rest. Families got closure. Finally knew what happened to their daughters, sisters, mothers who disappeared decades ago. Edward Crane's house was demolished. Nobody wanted it standing after what happened there. The paintings were taken as evidence, will probably be destroyed eventually. Except for Margaret's portrait. Her niece asked if she could have it. I restored it, completely, fixed all the damage, made it beautiful. Sent it to her, with a note, said I hoped it brought her peace. She wrote back, said thank you, said it was strange to see her aunt's face after all these years, but also comforting, like she was real, not just a ghost story. I still restore paintings, still go to estate sales, but now I look at them differently. Every forgotten portrait has a story. Most of them are boring, normal, but sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're evidence, proof that someone existed, someone who was erased. I check every canvas now, look behind every frame, search for hidden things. Most of the time, I find nothing, but I keep looking. Because art isn't just decoration, it's history, memory, truth, and sometimes it's the only thing left of someone who vanished. People ask me if I regret finding that painting, if I wish I'd never bought it. No. Margaret Hayes deserved to be found. Her family deserved answers, and those other women, the ones whose portraits I saw in that basement, they deserve to be remembered, to have their names back. Edward Crane thought he could erase them, keep them as secrets, his private collection. But art doesn't stay hidden forever. Eventually, someone finds it, someone asks questions, and the truth comes out. That's what I learned from restoring abandoned art. Every piece has a story, and some of those stories need to be told, no matter how dark they are. If you ever find old art in an attic, a basement, in a estate sale,
Pay attention. Look closely. Check the back. Search for hidden things. You might find something beautiful, or you might find something that changes everything. Subscribe if you want more untold stories. Comment if you've ever found something hidden in old art. And remember, nothing stays buried forever.